What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Roundup. Did you miss me? Did you miss us? Shout out to Vernon Hill, any Martin fans. Y'all should catch that. Y'all, thank y'all for rocking with us. We had to take a little break, but we're back with all the latest news and all the information that you need going on in Black South Florida. Today, I'm excited to have my co-host Corinne Stewart with me, who's going to help me break down all the news of the day. But before we get to that, I want to do a little bit of housekeeping. I want to give a shout out to our partner at Baptist Health. They have a new campaign going on, just encouraging people to get the vaccine. So you could go over to their website. If you go to Hilo News Miami, you'll actually find a link to their website to get any information about getting the vaccine and also any other health resources that Baptist Health has. So definitely want to give you guys that information. And then also, too, the State of Black Philanthropy is our media partner, where we're their media partner. And so that's going on February 23rd from 6 to 7:30 p.m. It's a virtual experience. You're going to see all the movers and shakers in Black philanthropy in Miami. You can also head to the link on the picture to RSVP. And also we'll have an article up soon where you'll be able to RSVP through our website as well. And if you got the newsletter last week, you would have seen the link to RSVP. So shout out to the Miami Foundation and the State of Black Philanthropy and what they're doing to honor people doing the work in our community. So here's a little bit of information about that. And without further ado, I'm going to bring Corinne onto the screen. What's up, girlie? Thank you so much for joining.
I missed you. I missed everyone.
I know. Tonight is just me and you rocking out, but you know it's still gonna be a great show because you always give us the good one-liners. I see the people in the comments saying Kareem always gonna give you a joke, a good key, but also bring a point home. So I'm happy that you were able to join us tonight. Thank you, girlie. How have you been during this break? What have you been up to?
Oh man, just chilling, working, for everyone out there, if you have a small business and you need some digital marketing, you hit me up. That's what I do.
Yes. And y'all, I don't know if y'all know something different with us, but Hilo News has new branding. So check out our new logo and our icon. Shout out to Michael Hall from Medium 4 for designing all our new branding material. So thank you, Mike. I love it, and everybody has been loving it. Thank you all for the feedback. So we're going to jump into some of these hot topics right away. Let me pull up the screen, girl, so people can see what it is that's going on in these streets in South Florida. So something I want to kick us off with is this Black-owned scavenger hunt. And we're also a media partner with them as well. And it's a pretty dope event. Key2 MIA and Miami 360 have teamed up to help people discover local businesses, Black-owned businesses. And so they created a scavenger hunt, which I think is really creative and innovative. And so you sign up through the Miami 360 app. You go on, they tell you to maybe like take a picture of this or go do this at the store or find this. They also encourage you to purchase while you're there, to upload your receipts as proof that you're doing it. But the winner, the person who visits the most places and gets the most points, wins some grand prizes. And some of the grand prizes are from the businesses that are in the scavenger hunt. So that's been pretty dope. What do you think about that, Corinne, and this like creative idea to get people into Black businesses?
I think this is a genius idea because how many people do not even know what Black businesses are around them? So
Exactly.
whoever came up with this, kudos to them because I think this is a great idea. And I'm hoping this is something that they can do every couple of weeks, maybe, because I think that this is really great. It'll give everyone a chance to participate. You can get to know your own neighborhood, get to know all the businesses that are around you and support them in the best way possible.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't even think about that. I was more so like, oh, I hope they keep this up every year, Black History Month. But you're right, like it's something that could be ongoing because
Yeah.
now like people want experiences and they want to support Black businesses when they come in town, specifically tourists I'm speaking of. And so for them to be like, okay, this is some fun activity that I could do probably with my family or my girls, we're on a
Right.
girls trip or a guys trip. We want to make sure we patronize the local Black businesses. Now this is a fun way to do that. And so Key to Miami, she actually does walking tours in different communities, local communities, but more so like she does like some heritage tours in Black neighborhoods. So, and then Miami 360 is a business directory for local apps. So them teaming
Okay.
up together was really, kind of genius in the way. And it was actually Kimaya from Key to MIA. She has the green pants on. It was her
Okay.
idea, and she actually found Joy through an article profile that we did on her. So it was all 360, and we actually posted a live interview today with them. So you guys go check that out on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. But they talked about
Definitely.
like the whole story and what got that going.
Yeah, I hope they have fun, and I think this is something they can do every month.
I agree. I hope they do it. So shout out to the Black owned Scavenger Hut. Y'all go out there. If y'all join it, shout them out and let them know Hilo News sent you. And y'all have some fun
Yes.
supporting the
Take
Black
some
business.
pictures.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a part of it. I think that's a part of it too. So
Okay.
I hope the people get it. Just switching gears a little bit, we're gonna head over to an education story. Now I see Broward County has a new school board superintendent. And it took them a while. So it's been a lot going on with the school boards and the superintendent picks. Vicky Cartwright is the new superintendent. How do you feel? Because you're Broward facing. How do you feel about this new hire for Broward County Schools?
So from what I hear from, her supporters and some of those people I do know personally, like she's a really great leader. What I can't understand is why did they go through this whole long hunt to just hire the interim? That just doesn't make any sense to me. And I understand that maybe, there were some voices saying, well, we want to make sure that she's the best candidate. But I mean, they just drew it out so long. I just think that it was so unnecessary to do that, because what they don't tell you is that this type of search takes money. So you
Mm.
have unnecessary man hours going into this long drawn out hunt when it wasn't necessary.
And that's so interesting when you see the juxtaposition of Dade County schools who pick somebody in like a day, and then
Mhm.
Broward County who's like took a year to do it. To me, it's just interesting to see the comparison of the two. I want to give
Right.
people out there just a little bit of information on Vicky Cartwright. She has 26 years of experience in public school education, and she was a superintendent of schools for Oshka Area Schools District in Wisconsin. And so she has, like you said, a lot of experience. She was a principal, elementary school music teacher, and middle school and high school band director. So I'm I don't know much about her background, besides of what we reported, but I'm hoping that the people in the community keep us up to date. And just
Right.
from what you're saying, Kareen, you're saying that she seems to be a good pick. So that's good. It's if that's a good choice for our kids, I'm all for it.
I know that's right, because they've been without a real permanent superintendent for a while, and there are some changes that needs to happen between the pandemic and all the things that are going on within our society right now. Schools need to be as stable as possible for the kids that are attending them. So I am hoping that they take all of this in consideration and they create some sustainable, long-lasting programs that are beneficial to the children.
I agree, because what the kids have gone through the last couple of years with the pandemic has been, like you said, a lot, and now like they need that stability. So, you know, Godspeed and congrats to Miss Cartwright, and I hope the best for all the students in Broward County and the staff and the
Yep,
educators. So we'll keep,
exactly.
we'll keep an eye on your work, honey. But we wish you the best.
Right.
Some more appointments, switching gears just a little bit over on the business side. Wanted to shout out the Black Professionals Network, founded by Kanasha Paul, who's picture center here in the green. She appointed two new leaders for her Black Professionals Network organization. So I'm happy to see them growing. Are you familiar with Black Professionals Network, Kareem?
I am. I am.
Okay, that's what's up.
It's just
Well,
that because I get their newsletters, but they don't really have a lot of events that I can attend, so I don't know that much about them.
well, she does the big conference, the BPN conference every year, which is pretty dope. I've gone to that. I try to go to it every year if possible. So I and I actually was honored by them. They did something for Women's History Month a few
Mhm.
years back. So I've seen different things. I think this year they're going to be doing something for men. They're honoring men. I
Oh,
saw
okay.
Dwight Bullard post something about it. So they have a few things here and there. Maybe you could check it out one day. But I wanted to
Yeah.
just shout out Dreamer Stokes and Whitney Watkins for taking over the Dade and Broward chapters of Black Professionals Network. And Kanasha has spoke about even, expanding the organization and taking it to different places. So anytime
That's
Black girls
good.
and Black people trying to do something to connect us and push us forward, I'm all for it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I actually, like, early on when they started the network, I actually went to an event that they were throwing. I think it was actually the inaugural event, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm,
It was a long time ago. And it was really nice to see all these Black leaders all together. Um, I don't know if you're familiar with the scene of, especially when it comes to Black professionals, but it just seems so kind of like segregated. And so it
agree.
was good to see. It was good to see, people who are like-minded and interested in doing business with each other all in one place.
Mhm. Well, speaking of doing businesses and how that could take a maybe a negative impact, um, we recently reported on Overtown getting more police presence as is reaping the benefits of redevelopment. And to me, that's always like that catch 22. It's like
I know. Oh my
we
God.
want it, but it's also but we know the relationship with the police. How you feel about this? Because I have some mixed feelings about it. What are your thoughts on
I
um
think that they're going about it all wrong. I mean, we need to take cues from all of these studies and statistics that are out there about the police presence. Police presence does not reduce crime like that. I mean, I don't understand why, because I don't know what needs to be changed or what they have to change to institute new programs. But we don't need more police because it's been shown that they don't really reduce crime. They don't really solve crimes like that. And I understand because Overtown, no matter what color you are, you don't want to be a victim of a crime when you're going somewhere, you know?
mhm.
So I understand that aspect of it, but another program, another alternative needs to be researched.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they keep coming up with the same answer. And it's not
Well,
working.
I think it's because the people that look like this is leaving and the people that look like this is coming
Right.
in. And so that's just my opinion. But the article that Niam that she reported on, I'll give you guys just a little bit of context. The City of Miami Commission will decide to increase police presence in Overtown as more people are coming in because of redevelopment. And so, according to the Miami Times, the Southeast Overtown Park West Community Redevelopment Agency has agreed to award $600,000 grant to the Miami Police Department to increase law enforcement patrols in the area. And the City of Miami Commission must approve the grant funded with property taxes with the vote scheduled. This was going to be Thursday of last week. So we have to follow up to see how that went through. But what they're saying is if we increase police presence, if we add cameras, if we do other things of that nature, people begin to say, okay, let me go and visit this restaurant. Let me go visit this clothing store. Let me go visit this grocery store. And this is what McQueen told the Miami Times. James McQueen is the executive director of the CRA down there. I, like you said, I get it, but I feel like we know what that could, because here's the thing, even as a black, I don't live in Overtown, but as a black person visiting Overtown, that could still be a situation that you create for black visitors because of police presence. So I want to know if there's going to be any sensitivity training, what protocols, is there going to be community policing? Like, I want that to be included. If you're going to do that, if we have to increase the police presence, I want to know that there is some type of new way of dealing with black people and people of color being put in place, because now, like, now we're going to Overtown and maybe the police are stopping us more or harassing us, or God forbid we have a George Floyd situation down there. I want to know that the city of Miami police will be treating people properly down there. And it's almost like, well, and it's black businesses, you know, we got the Red Rooster, the War Rooming House, the Urban. I was there last week. So these are like black businesses that are coming there and that are bringing people in, you know, along with the new development. So it's almost like, we're coming, but y'all now may put us in a weird situation with the police. I'm just praying nothing bad happens, but it definitely made me pause. Like,
Yes, and I feel that same sense of apprehension that you do, because if there's a lot of police presence, I don't want to go. And I'm a woman. I'm not even a black man, but I already know what that can lead to. A lot of police, you know, I don't know about that. I mean, now say
I
for
agree.
instance, if they start an initiative where say they're going to do community policing, which is a totally different model of policing,
Mm-hmm.
a true because a true model of community policing, because sometimes they say community policing but it's really not. um then I'd be willing, because community policing is not a whole bunch of police on the street. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's that you are ingrained in the community. You're doing more than just police work. But see, also, all of this stuff came up during the George Floyd time about, do we really need police, or do we need some other forms of uh like social organizations, organizations that are going to deal with, like, or programs that would deal with mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've gone down to Overtown. A lot of those people who are homeless have mental health issues. So why
Mm-hmm.
isn't there some type of initiative just dealing with mental health and those people who are living on the streets down there? Because if you're homeless, you gotta, sometimes you may have to steal to eat. And I'm not,
Yeah.
making a stereotype about the homeless, because, all homeless ain't thieves like that. But I'm just saying, if they think that that's the issue with the crime, or is it that, there's not enough? Because I mean, you go to Overtown, there's not even that many grocery stores down there. You know what I'm
And I
saying?
think they just put a Publix down there. It's closer to like the government center.
Hmm.
But and I think there's like one of those like smaller ones, like kind of, I call them like the Spanish supermarkets, like a Bravo or something down there.
Hmm.
But to me, here's the thing. I like I like going to Overtown. I'll walk around even at night, like go to, because everything's like within like a two or three blocks. So I'm walking from the War Room House to the Urban or going to the Lyric Theater, and I've never felt unsafe. Like, I'm not going deep into, some of the other areas where it may be an issue for me, but in that central entertainment district, I mean, I may see one or two police cars like stationed. To me, that's enough. Because I'm like, what? Like, you want them on every corner? Like, what are they gonna be doing? Like, and you're right. When you do see a lot of police, especially as a black person, I just feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, and City Miami Police already doesn't have the best reputation, anyways. So it's kind of like, I, yeah. I'm just gonna keep an eye on that, and I just
I
pray.
mean, but maybe they're gonna work on a new program. I don't know. Let's hope that that's what they do, because what we don't need more of is violence, and that's, violence from citizen to citizen and violence from the police. We don't need that. We don't need no more of that. We full of that already.
Exactly. But see, here's the other deal. It's like, okay, so now that these new people are moving in, these more affluent people are coming in, people with more money, now you feel like it's cause to keep them safe.
Higher
What about
home.
the people who were there before, who were who needed that safety then, before there was like this entertainment district, did they not deserve safety? Did they not deserve a increased police presence so that they could be safe in their neighborhood? So to me, that's why I'm side eyeing it, because
Yeah.
it's like this, we see what that play was, and it's not, it doesn't seem cool to me. But
Yeah, money
child,
is a great call to action, okay?
as
It's a great call to action. It gets your ears perked up. So,
yeah.
if they're saying, "Oh, it's only because we wanna make people safe," no. You're finally getting some tax dollars. You're finally getting people moving in, who are, uh, who have money, and you're like, "Oh, okay, let's do something about it now." Because I
But you
mean,
know what?
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. No, I was gonna say, it just goes to show too, we all know, like, people of a certain income, even education levels, they engage with they're more civically engaged too. So I also feel like too, it could be something where maybe there's an organized group of residents saying, hey, we want these things too. And so to me, it may also be an example of us like just making sure we stay organized, because if the residents had been able to do that, then maybe they could have gotten, some more things. Not saying that they didn't deserve it, but I wouldn't be surprised if there is a group, fueling this change that's coming to Overtown when it comes to police
Yeah.
presence.
You know what? I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. I have been ringing that bell for a long time, because I think, no, I'm serious. I've been talking about civic engagement for since probably about 2015, because I saw, like, the way that we do civic engagement as Black and brown people are a lot different. And you know what? Let me tell you, as not an excuse, but to defend Black and brown people, we work more hours.
I was just thinking that
We
as
we work
mhm.
more hours. We got a lot more on our plate. So it's kind of hard to go to a community meeting happening at 5:30 or 6 p.m. when you got two jobs that you got to work, or
Well,
you got
nobody's
other
watching
things.
kids.
Right. You got other things stressing you, right? So, I just want to put that disclaimer out there. But also, we need to, if that's the case, we need to find another way to get our voice out.
Yeah.
We have to find another way, because we can't allow these things to keep happening to where we're now being, because every time it happens, we're getting squeezed out of the communities that we've cultivated, right? I
Hmm.
mean, one of your stories talks about that, right?
Yeah.
So we got to find another way. We got to find another way. And there's a lot of organizations that are in the forefront, especially in South Florida, who are teaching people how to be more civically engaged by any means necessary. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about violence, but I'm talking about incorporating alternative ways, not just going to meetings. Of course, you want to have representatives at meetings, but also writing letters, letting your voice be heard, writing articles, writing blogs, just speaking out. We need more of that.
We definitely do. And you made a great point about, Black people and brown people not having the luxury. Cause I actually was thinking that too. Like, a lot of times people in our community, they don't have the luxury to engage that way. And but the flip side of that is like, we can't get what we need unless we engage first and propose, hey, change this. Now I do think with the pandemic and meetings going digital, and a lot of them have stayed digital. I think that may be the equalizer for us. And I'm
Mhm.
hoping that residents continue to fight for that, so that they can, call in for public comment. They could watch it, they could stream it from
Great
home
point.
while they, watching their kids, or cooking dinner.
Mhm.
They can't physically be somewhere, but they can still engage. And so to me also too, the pandemic showed me like everybody was able to figure out how to do a digital meeting. And I have been saying that for years. I was like, why isn't this digital? And
Mhm.
did it like that. And I was like, so that just tells me it could always have been
And
done. y'all just ain't do it. And to me, it was like, okay, that was a way to exclude people. And then also too, like you said, like the voting by mail, there's organizations like
Mhm.
that are trying to get people. Like I'm thinking if we have those things in place, I think, like you said, the people who may not have the luxury to, organize a group and go protest at a 12 p.m. uh government meeting, they can organize digitally in a way that suits their schedule and their lifestyle better. So this is just part of a whole broader conversation about like how we engage, and I'm hoping that also too that Hilo News can help be part of that civic
Yeah.
engagement for you guys, keeping you guys up to date on what's going on. So yeah, Overtown, we got our eye on y'all with this police presence. We hope y'all keep it cute, but you know we'll see. Well, we wish the best. We'll wish the best, but we understand what the reality could be.
Yeah, and if you're an Overtown citizen and you after this thing has passed and you see some differences that you don't like, hit us up and let us know what's going on.
Yes, come on, Corinne. I ain't even think to tell the people to thank
Yeah.
you. See, this is why you here.
Yeah, because I want to know. I want to know what's the impact.
Mhm. Well, on to some Black history. I wanted to share this the African American Research Library. They unveiled a new exhibit, and it was celebrating the lifelong contributions of librarian Vivian D. Hewitt and Dorothy Porter Wesley. And so was pretty cool. I actually saw this post on Alexis Brown. She's the founder of Social Exchange, and she was talking about this event. And even though the event happened last Friday, the exhibit is still going on. And so she was given the history about the African American Research Library. And so many people in her comments were saying they had never heard of it. I mean, I've been there plenty of times. I love it there, but it's just interesting that people didn't know it existed. So I definitely wanted to give it a little bit of shine and talk about the event that went down. Jack Daniels was one of the sponsors, and they have a whole initiative for Black History Month and wanting to celebrate Black excellence. And so they had a reception and opened up this exhibit, and also celebrated the anniversary of the 20-year anniversary of the library. It started October 26th in 2002, and it's a Broward County library, so it's a part of that library system. But it was pretty cool to see that this library was getting some shine. To me, I just assumed people knew about it. It's a huge library. I think the Urban League is
Huge.
housed there, but it was so interesting. So many comments were saying, I never heard of it. Oh wow, like she was going through looking at showing them all the books and the amenities that they have. Corinne, have you been? Well, I'm sure you've been there. What do you
I have
think
been
about
there.
this?
So for all the moms out there, because see, one thing about me, if I don't have to pay, I don't like to pay, right?
Mhm. Like, all of
And
us.
because I know about all the little hidden gems around South Florida because I like to take my kids to different places. I mean, they're grown now, but when they were younger and they were here, I actually took them to an event at the African American Research Library. I had known that it existed, but they've expanded throughout the years and renovated throughout the years. So I mean, they have so many things there, and they have a lot of events. They have events happening every single month that you can bring your whole family to. They have a because Broward County already has a summer reading program over the summer, but they also have events happening throughout the summer that rewards the kids. Like
Oh
my
wow.
kids used to get coupons for like restaurants for free food and stuff from them. So I would tell anyone, like, you need to know what's going on around the places that you live because there's so much wealth of knowledge around us. You just
Mhm.
need to make sure that you know about it. Reach out to people and say what's going on. I mean, this place has always had events. So I'm
Yeah.
really glad that they're unveiling a new exhibit, something new for people to see. I'm really happy to have this in in my area. Another thing too is that what may have brought more attention to that area is that before or surrounding the library, it used to be a lot of like duplexes, like
Mhm.
very, because it's
Mhm.
like a low income area, but they've
Yeah.
renovated that whole entire area. I mean, I don't know
Really
if it's truly gentrified, but basically it was.
interesting. I haven't been over there maybe in like a year or two. Well, since the pandemic.
Mhm,
But you're right. It was like I would like to say like a more like working class area. Um,
mhm.
but so you're saying now like all around the library it is renovated
Yes,
or there's redeveloped.
a
But I
lot
was
of redevelopment.
and it's not too far from the flea market, right?
No, it's not that far from there. And I mean, from here, well, because I'm in Miramar, it's not that far. So if anyone thinks that it's too far, you just need to take a drive. It's not that far, especially if you're going to go on the 95 or something. So
Yeah. And I'm actually showing just the video that Alexis did. She was doing a tour. She's like showing people about the um African American Research Library there in Fort Lauderdale. So you guys head over to Hilo News. You could go to Alexis's page and see this and get just more information about the library. And congrats to those women, those librarians
yeah,
that they honored there. I
yeah,
think it's
those
I always
librarians are the truth.
I always
They
thought it
got
was just
some good librarians there. No, those librarians have been there for years. They've been in the system
Mm,
for years. They're
weird.
very knowledgeable. So check
Wow.
them out.
And the few times that I have gone there to look around for books and things like that, like everyone has been like so helpful and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So it's been pretty good. I like that place. And I hope more people go discover it. And we definitely need to keep more shine on like events and things that are going there so we
Yes,
can encourage people to go to that library because we don't
especially
want them
for
to take it from us.
$3.99.
Yes. We don't want them to be like, nobody's using it. We finna take it. Like, no, 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 we're
No,
gonna go.
yeah,
um just switching gears a little bit back into the government side of things, Miami-Dade and Broward counties got $1.3 billion in federal aid to improve the airport and transit, which is about damn time. Um, it looks like the money was provided through. I know, we gonna get there. Provided through $1.2 trillion as a bipartisan infrastructure investment from the Jobs Act, which President Joe Biden signed in November. And Florida transportation agencies would get a share of $18.6 billion. And Miami-Dade County Public Transit will receive $1.2 billion. Miami International Airport will receive $42 million. Opelika Executive Airport will receive $295,000. And Fort Lauderdale Hollywood Airport will receive $32.7 million. And then out of that $17 billion, 277 million is for discretionary grants for local governments. So what do you think about this funding? Good, bad, in between?
okay, so you gotta bear with me because I've been around for a long time. Okay, how much money have they gotten over the years for transportation and transit? I,
Girl,
let
and the
me
people
count the ways.
the people in South Dade still can't get up here without taking a toll
I
road.
just I don't understand. Look, my mom, who's been here for many, many, many years, decades, she told me that when they started the turnpike, and I know this is totally different, but when they started the turnpike, they said as soon as they got enough money for the toll, they would do away with the toll. The toll's still
Mm.
here, okay?
They okie doke the people. And
Yes.
honestly, when I first started driving, like as I became an adult and like even just driving in high school and I started going down south, when I realized unless you took like really A1A and was on that shit for 2 hours, like which is not practical, you can't get efficiently into South Dade without taking the turnpike. And so what does that do to poor people who are on fixed incomes or restricted incomes? Like you have to pay a toll and to like just to get to work or to get home. I always thought that was so unfair. So what I'm hoping now with the new leadership under Kava and hoping the new county commission and these other elected officials won't fuck up the bag like the people did in the 90s when they was supposed to get the tri-rail to go north and south. I think it was supposed to be a metro rail that goes all the way to the stadium. That never happened. I'm hoping that with the new blood, I'm hoping that we see some improvements. But
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold my breath
No, don't hold your breath. If it was
just the
Kava,
history
look,
of
if
Miami
it
and
was
transportation.
Kava alone saying do this, do that, I would be like, yeah, it's gonna happen. Okay. But I don't know. They've gotten so much money over the years, decades of money. Like, I would love to see the breakdown of where all that money went. I would really
Yeah,
love to see the breakdown of where all that money went, because we don't have better roads to show for. I mean, we have the expansions, of the lanes and stuff like that, but it's still a heck of traffic.
I
And then,
know. The
especially
congestion.
with, the metro rail and all that stuff, like, I just don't see that it's gotten better. I mean, so many people complain about the buses and stuff, and even with the transit alliance that they have with that nonprofit that raised up funds to get the surveys and see what they need to do better, the need for improvement, all that kind of stuff. I still see people complaining. You can't depend on the bus. It should not be like that. We still, can't go
Child,
from Miami-Dade to Broward in a short period of time.
you can't go from Miami Gardens to Kendall or Perrine or anything. Like,
Yeah.
to me, of a city and a market of this size, there should be better public transportation. When you go to a New York and you go to LA and San Francisco and DC and all these places, Atlanta, everybody has some type of rail. Everybody has something where if you don't want to drive in your car, you could hop on this train or this rail or this bus and get to where you need to. Buses should be coming every fucking 10 minutes, every 15 minutes. The rail should be
Making
should
sense.
be stretched across the county. I should be able to get on a rail and go at least we ain't even gonna talk about the connection of the two counties. I should be able to
Ooh.
get in, I should be able to move throughout Dade County without having to drive my car if I want to. And visiting New York so much, even though I hate them dirty ass subways, it is convenient when you don't want to deal with it. We took a subway to the next game and I was against it. I was like, I do not want to go down there. But it was hella quicker. And then, like, when we got off the subway, we literally walked off the train to the front of the Knicks arena. And so things like that, like, why even to the main attractions, like the Miami arena, like the Dolphin Stadium, like the beaches, like, you should be able to at least get to the main attractions on a rail or public transportation if you wanted to. If you ain't driving or you ain't Ubering, it's really not that efficient. And that's the sad part.
Yeah. Well, maybe they get together with this $1.3 billion that they got.
Hopefully, sure. But the people said the commissioners in the 90s fucked up the money that was supposed to come here. I ain't gonna say no names. I ain't gonna say no names of who, because I don't got all the details down. But they said the people in the 90s messed it up. And I'ma just leave it at that. So we hope the people
I
of
believe it.
the people of the 2020s don't mess it up.
Okay.
But here's the thing, that discretionary grant kind of was like, what you mean discretionary? Who gets to use that and how? Like, I don't like that it's discretionary. I want them to be able to use that for a specific reason. Because that's to me how people get to keep money and make little tricky plans with the grant dollars that's discretionary.
Yeah, I need to like do a deep dive and see who actually has control of that money.
That part. Like, who within the government body. I'm just assuming it's the transportation departments of these government bodies. Lord child, that little hot barely almost $300,000. City of Opalaka finna get. I pray they do right by it, because you already know how they ass get down over there. Um, we gonna
But
pray.
I mean, that's a good question though, because they already messed up and you're giving them $300,000.
Maybe it goes directly to the Opalaka airport. So I think from what I remember, and anybody correct me if I'm wrong, the Opalaka airport, I don't think is managed or run by by the city of Opelika. I think the county is heavily involved with what goes on over there. So maybe that's the saving grace for Opelika. I hate to say it, y'all in Opelika, don't kill me, but the politicians over there, they're new. The new people over there still trying to figure it out, and the old people still got their hands in the power of things. So we just don't 100% trust y'all yet with nothing. I'm sorry.
I don't know. look, the record ain't good, so it's gonna be some questions, you know. And I'm sure. Look, if you're a politician over there, you should welcome questions, because that means you're being totally transparent, right?
Exactly. Definitely should welcome it.
I'm trying to
Child,
see who controls them.
oh, let us know.
I want to
I'm
know.
on to some other shadiness too in Miami, or not even Miami, black neighborhoods. Niam did another article or posted about a report that shows investors are buying up more than a quarter of homes in black neighborhoods. Are you surprised?
I talked about this.
You sure did.
Because it doesn't make any sense that the houses are so scarce and ain't nobody living in them. Doesn't make any sense. And I actually saw a documentary the other day that like 70% there's a row in New York called Millionaires Row. 70% of the building is unoccupied because people just buy it and keep it. Nobody lives there.
Wow.
And I'm starting to believe that that's what's going to start happening here. I think it's already happening, because I mean, when they had the crash, they found out that a lot of people had brought those condos like on the beach and stuff and wasn't living in them. So, you know, I'm wondering if they're going to try to do the same thing in these neighborhoods, because, you know, as you stated, as it stated in the article, that they buy up the block because homes in black neighborhoods are lower than any. I mean, you got lower taxes and you have a lower price tag because they're undervalued. So I mean, gosh, like, we just squeeze in every direction, you know?
That's crazy you said that, because somebody commented on our post and said because the appraisers don't look like us, so they're pricing our homes lower.
Right. And it's a proven fact. I mean, you can't argue against the facts. You can't argue against the facts. It's a proven fact that when you go and walk into a black and brown neighborhood, that appraisers and banks are going to value it at a lower price tag. Redlining has been outlawed for decades, and it's still happening in the most subtle ways.
Yep, through appraisers, child. Now, I wanted to read a paragraph from the post. It said, according to Zillow.com, the typical home value of houses in Miami is $469,562, which has increased by 21.2% over the past year. Home values in Miami Gardens and Opelika, two majority black neighborhoods in Miami-Dade County, have increased by more than 20%, but are lower than Miami. The typical home value of houses in Miami Gardens is $370,000. $475, and the typical house in Opelika is valued at $317,316. So, yeah, and then we also, let's talk about climate gentrification, because I feel like there's a couple of things at play. One, because of the high points, what these inland communities are, they're going to be prime real estate over time, because, you know, we all know Miami Beach and the shorelines, the coastlines aren't going to be habitable, you know, over time. And then also too, with Mayor Suarez doing this, you know, cattle call for people, the tech companies, to come to Miami, to come to South Florida, you know, they're willing to stay in our areas, which is interesting. I was at a meeting and someone said, you know, the northeastern whites or the urban whites aren't afraid to live in black neighborhoods.
Nope.
So they'll go right in the hood because they used to, if they live in Brooklyn or Harlem,
We're used to diverse
yeah,
neighborhoods.
they
Yeah.
and they not scared of Black people, so they'll come right into our communities, buy the house, and don't care.
Hmm.
And for us, we can't sell. I think that for us who own our homes, keep them. Keep
Right.
the homes. That's how we avoid gentrification, because a lot of people think it's people push you out. Nobody can push you out of something that you own.
Exactly. That's true. That is so true. And I think what we need to do is start teaching them, right? If you're not able to sell the home because you want to keep it, especially as legacy real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are other alternatives that you can look to instead of selling the home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about the education. If you're I mean, one thing, you know what, I just can't understand. I just heard a story about someone losing their home, and I don't
Mm.
understand that, because there's so many programs that assist, especially like if it's happening because of COVID. There are
Yeah.
programs to assist you if you're finding yourself in that position, but it's just a lack of knowledge. It's just a lack of knowledge. And if you're having an issue, because then you have people who are losing their home and don't tell nobody.
Because it's the shame and
Right, exactly. Because, say for instance, if you could sell it to a family member, at least keep it in the family, something.
short-term rental.
Yeah, short-term
Something.
rentals, Airbnb, there's all kind of
All that
alternatives
stuff,
to losing your home.
especially in
So
today's age.
exactly. If you or somebody know someone who's losing their home, try to help them find a program so they won't lose it.
But you
These
also said
homes,
something key. Say something
yes,
early, as you
yes,
don't be ashamed. You gotta swallow that pride and get the help because it's out there.
exactly, exactly. And I just think that another thing too is that cities need to do the work.
Hmm.
I know Miramar is really good at like doing workshops, putting the information out there. If there's grants for businesses, if there's programs for homeowners who are underwater, I always see events, but in Miami Gardens, I don't really see that like that.
Mm.
I don't
If
know if
they
I'm
do
missing it or
exist,
what.
I don't know about it. Um, I'm sure I know, like, maybe on a one-on-one type of thing. I know for sure, like, if you reached out to your representative, that they will get you resources. I'm just not sure if they have something set up. They could have. I don't know about it,
Yeah,
but I know if you reached out, you could get help. But
mm,
you're right. That's a good idea that the cities themselves have, like you said, the city of Miramar has something where they're like, "Hey,
yeah,
we have this in place for you not to
yes,
lose your home."
yes, and I think it's very important because once you start, because see, that's another thing too. Once the makeup of a neighborhood starts to change, they want people who look like them to represent them.
Mm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it would behoove you to make sure that the people who live in your neighborhoods and your communities keep their homes.
And that makes sense though. If I move into a neighborhood, I want to be represented. So I'm not mad at the people who coming in and into a neighborhood and demanding what they should be, is rightfully theirs and as a citizen or a resident. But we can't complain about gentrification and people taking over if we selling. We can't. Miami Gardens stays a majority Black city if the people keep the homes. They don't sell them.
Right.
But you know what? I hear a lot of people in Miami Gardens say they come to me all the time. I say no, 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 no. And so I'm but here's the thing, I wonder what the home ownership rate is like in Opalaka or Liberty City or Overtown or Richmond Heights and other predominantly Black communities across South Florida. Like, what is that home ownership rate? Because even if you want to stay, if you don't own it, ain't
Yeah,
nothing
you
you
don't
can
have
do
a
about it.
choice. And see, that's
Yeah.
another thing too, Oh, and because I don't think that you had anything on that, but I learned something very, very important about that Opportunity Zone program. Do you know anything
Mm.
about that?
Vaguely about it. Let me
So,
know.
when Trump was in office, this opportunity zone program came up where they were giving funds for people to develop in certain neighborhoods, certain communities, right? And that was something they were really pushing. But guess who got most of those dollars? These
Oh,
big development companies who don't
wow.
look like us. They're not going to have our best interests at heart. I mean, people were really pushing that, oh, Trump did this and Trump did that. And it turned out that it didn't benefit us at all. So
Mm,
a lot of these places got brought up by these developers through the opportunity zone program. So,
wow.
and it may be that, we probably not seeing the impact of it right now because it's going to take a while for them to develop on that land, or, to put businesses. I think, there's a whole bunch of plazas popping up, new plazas and stuff popping up. I don't know if they were um uh due to those opportunity zones, but we still ain't see the effects of all that, you know, yet.
And I feel like a lot of them just sit and wait. They, let the property get run down because they hoping that it drives the property value down. I feel like, I've heard there's little different little tricks that developers do so they could, get a return on their investment, develop, sell when the property increases, different things that happens so they can get a return on their investment and buy up the property in our communities. I think we just need to be that force behind buying up the property. And I see a lot of people, a lot of new Black homeowners. So hopefully, I just hope we're moving as fast as the trends and the things are going on. Like sometimes it always feels like we're behind. Like, yeah, they're buying up houses and we are too, but we're not buying them up at the rate that somebody who has longer pockets does.
Of course, of course. And a lot of the cities and communities that we are concentrated in, are the average household income is lower than our
Mhm.
counterparts. So, at the rate that the housing market has accelerated, we just simply cannot keep up because our incomes have not kept up.
Yeah. I feel like true equity would look like government programs, especially for Black people. You have to close that gap. You have to. Whether it looks like giving us land grants, if that looks like forgivable student loans, if that looks like job training for, high paying jobs, does that look like better education for our public schools in our areas? Like there needs to be, because it can be done. And whether that's on a
Definitely.
local, state, or federal level, if you're talking about equity and you really are like Black Lives Matter and you want Black people to be atoned for the atrocious things that have been done to us over time in this country and that still affect us to this day, then you have to put your money where your mouth is and create real policies and real resources for us through the government.
Yeah.
To me, that's the only fair thing to do. That's if because it should be like, okay, you're Black, you're a descendant of a slave, your student loans are forgiven, or you go to college
Yes.
for free.
Yes.
Here's a down payment for a home, or here's a land grant. Like it should
Mhm.
be whatever that looks like. I'm just making up land grant, but it should be some type of equity where we get to close that gap. Because to me, like you said, I feel like we're always behind, and it's not our fault. They get on my nerves, child. Let me mute
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I totally get it, and it's gonna be, if someone hears this, it's gonna be a million excuses of why they feel like, we should be better, we should be in a better place, but the system has been set up to make sure, that there are obstacles in our way.
Mm-hmm.
And say for instance, okay, because let me be the devil advocate, right? Say for instance, if we are now living currently in an equitable system or society, right? You've had 400 or 500 years where it hasn't been. So it being equitable right now, it still puts us behind the eight ball.
Don't mean a damn thing. If you
So
like they say the head start, where they have the analogy about running, it doesn't matter if you got, like you said, a 500-year head start on me. That's why I really feel like, even though the American government, because I feel like if they admit to, slavery being something bad. Like, I think there's some wording in the Constitution or some federal law where it's like, we apologize, but we don't take responsibility for slavery. Like, they had some tricky wording where they could, so it gets them out of the legal responsibility of reparations. And to me, reparations doesn't have to be like a check, like just hand me a check. Like I said, it could be student loan forgiveness. It could be certain things for us, for housing and business development, things that was taken from us, like with Black Wall Street and Rosewood. Like, you had whole towns destroyed. You had towns destroyed by the developments of highways like Overtown. Like, you have to atone for that. And that's why, like, when we're talking about civic engagement, guys, that's how we get that stuff. We have to stay unified. We have to demand certain things.
Exactly. And just for a little story, there's a town where the mayor decided that they were going to give each resident like $1,000 a month. It's like a program that
I
they have.
remember that story.
And there's no reason why that can't happen in our communities. There's no reason why it can't happen. It's just that we have to demand that type of stuff. Because if you really want, let me tell you, if you really want your community to thrive, start putting some programs in that's actually going to put money into the pockets of residents. And you're going to see what difference that makes. Because even though that program is kind of new, the studies that they got out of that program have been nothing but positive.
Wow.
They found that when people were getting that money, that stipend, that they were working even harder. They didn't like, because that myth that, oh, people stopped going to work because they got a little extra $600. Like, that's not, getting
That's not
$600
everybody.
a month. That's not that much.
Yeah.
I mean, for rent here, the average rent is like what, like $1,200 or something like that for one bedroom, a studio, something like that. So you getting an extra $600 is not doing much for you. So we really, these little pity pat programs that they be doing, like, it just gets on my nerves. You ain't doing nothing with that. You ain't doing nothing with that.
We need long-term real investment and stuff like that. Like, you see little examples, like you said, that program of people getting that money. And also too, because it wasn't restricted. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but I remember seeing a story about they were giving, and I remember seeing it was Black women. They were giving them the money and letting them decide what the needs were in their house versus you telling them, oh, you could only buy this with it. Once they were doing that, they were seeing over time the growth of those people who just needed just that help just for that period of time, or for whatever that money was doing for them. It was helping them excel, and they didn't have restrictions on it. That's also too something else that helps a lot with those programs. Like, don't tell me to spend this $500 on a light bill when I need it for food, or vice versa. Like, let me decide what the needs are, for my family, and what can get us to that next level.
Yeah, exactly. And you also have the Republicans, they are promoting the narrative of, if I give someone $1,000, they gonna go smoke it up and crack or something like that. I think someone actually said that.
Do they even still sell or make crack? That's so 90s and 80s to me. Do they even? Oh my gosh, I'm so over the Republicans.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I'm not saying, because I know some Republicans who are really great people. Okay, so I don't want to put them all in one
the
box.
institution of,
but yes,
what that
but
party represents.
I mean,
right
come
now.
on. I mean, when people say stuff like that, I just say you're uneducated. Because the truth of the matter is that when most people get money in their pocket, it's not going towards nothing, like that. It's not going towards drugs or anything like that. It's going towards food. It's going towards shelter. It's going towards taking care of your family. When most people get money, that's where it goes. So those few, the few bad apples that you're talking about throughout history that's taken money and gone and brought crack. I mean, the number is so small, you shouldn't even said it.
Exactly. It's insignificant. Ciao. Whew. Well, switching gears a little bit, back to some Black excellence as we wrap up. I wanted to share with our Hilo News family another event that we partner with, and as you guys see, we're doing media sponsorships and partnerships. So hit us up. When I hit the info at Hilo News at the end of the show, you guys can get all that information. But I wanted to share about this documentary screening that Emmanuel George, he's Broward guy, he's all about Black Broward, and he's doing a film on Addicts High School, and just showing the history of that historic high school that used to exist in Broward County. And it's a documentary about the impact of the closing on that high school on the community of Liberia and the neighboring communities like Janey, Carver Ranches, Hollandale, Ojas, and even Davie. And the screening is February 18th at the Circuit. There is a link. We're going to put up the link on Hilo News. We're going to put it up. It's going to be on Eventbrite. They also have another screening on February 24th at Koinonia if I'm messing that up, Koinonia Worship Center. And so we'll put up the information for these for these screenings. But Emmanuel has been working to get this story told about this Black high school. And it sounds to me like it was similar to like Dillard and Booker T in Miami, and how those were historic high schools in Northwestern and Liberty City, like how those were historic high schools for those communities. And he's talking about, what happened when that closed, and also talking to some of the alumni who are still alive to this day. Are you familiar with Addicts High School, Kareem?
No, I never really heard anything about it. I mean, maybe, but I never, if I have heard about it, it's probably something, just a little tidbit. But wow, this is very interesting. I would love to go to see this.
Yeah,
I love to hear about the history of some of these places that existed.
Yeah, I'll definitely make sure I send you the info, and definitely when it's up on Hilo News page, we'll have it up. But I wanted to make sure that we included it in the roundup so that people who are watching know about it. It's a production of the Black Orchid Foundation, which is founded by Emmanuel, and he's the young man with the locks, and that's his partner there who helped him shoot it. His name is LaVara Dennis. I can't get that right, so sorry if I messed that up, but you guys go to the flyer, you'll be able to read it for yourself. I'm reading from a screen, so y'all forgive me. But yeah, it seems like a very interesting story. And Emmanuel, he and I are cool, and he's been telling me about Addicts High School. I had never heard of it. Like the Black high schools that I know in Broward are like the Dillards and the Piper high school. So to learn about this one that was closed and what they did and how that affected the community. Like you said, I always like to know about Black history, especially local Black history. So I'm definitely looking forward to going to this screening. You guys, show up at RSVP so you can attend and learn about our history during Black History Month.
Yeah, very interesting. I would encourage anyone to go. I'm definitely going to try to make it.
Mm-hmm. And our last story of the night as we come to an end, I just wanted to share about a vision board party that I went to, and it was hosted by Empire University. And let me see if I can add the sound to it so you guys can take and check out this package that I did on TikTok. Hilo News has a new TikTok, busy at work, so I'll let that restart when it gets back to the beginning. But yeah, I went to this vision board party. The Empire University is a group for Black businesses, and they're all about like collaboration and working together and sharing resources. And it was started by Ernisha Randolph, the founder of We Shuckin' and Sweet Butter Hospitality. And so I've been in it for over a year now. I think I started during the pandemic, and it's been a really, really great organization. So here we are. We're about to start it back up. I'll let y'all, watch this package that we're going to do.
The 2022 Empire University Vision Board Party was nothing but a success. Check out some of what went down. Here's Empire University founder Ernisha Randolph. Get it, girl. The members are busy at work, building their vision for 2022. The decor was provided by Empire University. It looks dope. And it was hosted at We Shuckin' in Pembroke Pines, also founded by Ernisha Randolph and her family. Sweet treats were provided by the Candy Girls Inc., and they were delicious. And of course, DJ Faze kept the vibes and the music going the whole night with the music that we needed to get us motivated for our vision for 2022. Overall, the event was a success. See y'all next time.
Y'all, so I definitely need to show that. What do you think about the vision board party, Kareen?
You know what? I love vision board parties.
Yeah.
Because everyone should have a vision board. Everyone. They even have, if you don't want a physical vision board, they even have digital ones now.
Yeah, so I started doing those.
Because it's so important that you're able to visualize your goals. I was just talking to a school the other day, and I was like, it's very important that no matter how old you are, to have goals written down. So the vision board gives you one step above that, and you're able to visualize your goals right in front of you. I think that's very important. That looks really fun too. That's a nice environment too, that place.
And I love it. We were at her restaurant, and I wasn't expecting, I knew it was going to be there, but I wasn't expecting her to have like decorations and a DJ and, sweets. I'm like, okay. And I come there, she has a whole thing laid out for us, and it was pretty cool. Wow. I still have to finish mine, but you're right. Like a vision board, to me, I call them Ouija boards because they are like magic. Like literally, you put something on that vision board. I don't know what it is about seeing it. Yeah. It's something in you. It manifests because I think it helps remind you to align your actions to do the things that you put on that board. Like a lot of the things that I put on like my past vision boards have come to pass. Like it's so amazing. Like what like manifestation, how that works through the vision boards.
Definitely. I mean, everyone, when I tell you everyone, I mean from little kids to grown people, they should always have some type of vision board.
I didn't think about doing it for kids. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because it helps them to kind of visualize their goals, introduce them to the concept of goals and measuring where you want to go,
And actually, there was a kidpreneur. She's actually right there. We just passed her on the camera. Her name was London. She has a company called Lip Gloss by London. And so she's de facto in the group because her mom's an entrepreneur as well. But you're right. It doesn't have to be for just the kidpreneurs. It could be for any student who wants to put their goals. I got to tell my nephew about this and do that with him.
Yeah, she did a great job, man. Shout out to her.
Yeah, Ernisha in the Empire University. And also, too, I wanted to show you guys that, we're on TikTok. So follow us at Hilo News, and that we're going to be doing more video packages like this, just short, sweet things where I'm on the scene. And I'm going to encourage our other correspondents to go and use the TikTok account so we could show, the community, the great things that are going on in Black South Florida. So you guys will see more of this from us. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. And just also to join Empire University. We have information about that on the Instagram page as well. So yeah.
You're going to be dancing?
Yeah.
You're going to be dancing? Like, you going to be dancing? You got videos dancing?
Oh no, I'm not going to do no TikTok challenges. No, ma'am. I'm not going to be. No, hell no. I'm not. I ain't got no rhythm, and I'm too old for that. I get tired, and I ain't gonna do none of them lip sync videos where they talking and the other person. No, they cute, but I just know. Here's the thing: I know video production, so I know how long it took you to do that, sync your mouth up with that video, or to get the edit right for your dances. No, we gonna do the quick stuff. But I also seen Hungry Black Man doing it, and some other food blogs and local blogs that I saw. They started using TikTok, and I call them news packages from in the business. As a journalist, we call them packages. So I was like, oh, they're doing mini packages and putting them on TikTok. Hello News finna do it too. They ain't gonna leave us in the dust. And that's
wait, I thought you was gonna say that Star X was dancing. I was about to say, what? Let me go in there right now.
No,
I've
Star
never
X be
seen-
eating at them.
I have never seen him dance, so I was like, what?
You know what? I've never seen him dance either. Star X, you can dance. You Rhythmless Nation? Because I'm Rhythmless Nation, but I still dance. I don't care. But you know what?
I'm not saying he don't know how to dance. I'm just saying I've never seen him dance. So.
Oh, I'm saying people who don't dance probably don't know how to dance. But that's just me.
Because I'm dancing on TikTok. I like dancing.
Wait, are you on? Do we follow each other, Kareem? Are you on
I
TikTok?
don't know.
I gotta make sure I follow you.
I don't really have anything on there like that though, but I am dancing in one of them.
We definitely, hey, look, if you're out and about, send us the video so we can put it on the Hilo News TikTok and our social media pages. That I think I want to encourage the whole team to do stuff. I think it's a fun way for us to do content and a quick way for us to get some stories out. And also too to show people everybody's visual right now.
Yeah, and even if you're at like places or establishments that you want us to know about, just hashtag us.
That part too. I encourage you guys to send us video footage or things like that you want us to show as well. If we can't make it out, but you have, you know, the video that you want to send it to us and we could edit it up and put it on Hilo News, let's do that. I welcome that as well. So that's a great look at. See, I forgot to say that. Kareem, you'll be knowing. Man, tonight was so much fun. You know, the vibe, even though we're just two of us, I still feel like you brought the energy tonight. And I really appreciate you, Kareem, because you helped me get through tonight. So as always, how can the people connect and follow you and know more about you?
I'm Kareem Stewart on Facebook, Kareem17 on Instagram. Everything you need to know about me is on there. So just click those links and you got me.
Love it. And y'all, as always, you know, you guys can follow Hilo News on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and at Hilo News. Sign up for our newsletter at hilonewsmiami.com. Also, now follow us on TikTok. I got to add that to the scroll, but yeah, definitely connect with us. Tonight has been fun. I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Follow us. Sign up for the newsletter, share, tell a friend. That's how we grow. That's how we expand so we can keep serving our community, which we enjoy doing. Again, thank you so much, Kareem, for joining me tonight. I really, really appreciate you. I had a blast.
Yes, me too.
Y'all have a good evening or a good day whenever y'all watching this. Listen to it as a podcast. We appreciate y'all and we'll see y'all next week. Thank y'all. Good night.